Welcome back, everybody, to the Dice Matrix. My name is E.T., and I am here today to talk to you about an imagining, if you will. You're playing a tabletop role-playing game. Maybe it's a science fiction game. Maybe it's the classic Dungeons and Dragons. Maybe it's like what I've been playing, Dragonbane, lately, which I really enjoyed, by the way. So you do something, or something happens, and then after an occurrence, the game master pulls his card out, puts it on the table, and then slides it to you. Yes, go ahead and take that. It's all right. So I've had the idea of that maybe there should be player achievement cards or even player character achievement cards for accomplishments in the game. But not only that, I guess there's somewhere on the internet where people have done inspiration where you get these little woohoo, look at me stuff. But I thought we're going to make most of these give you a reward. So I'm going to show you my ideas for, and this will be in the Dragonbane sense, but if you've played any role-playing game, you'll kind of understand. So if you hear the word boon and bane, these are made, I'm making these for Dragonbane, but that's the same thing as like advantage and disadvantage. So anyway, like the back of the card, and imagining I have, would look something like this. So I hope I slid the camera over so you can see what it looks like. But anyway, it says player achievement cards, and then you'll notice at the bottom there it says that's the official Dragonbane logo. So like if I ever actually wanted to print sheets of these out on PDFs and then put them out for distribution to people and ask for donations or something, which I'm not planning on yet, but if you're interested, you know, maybe send me an email and I'll think about, or comment and I'll think about doing it. But anyway, so let me just take a look at, I made about 20 something achievements, and there's hundreds of possibilities you could do out there. But let's go ahead and take look at the very first one. So, which is the classic. This is Dragon Slayer, and yes, I got my reminder thing so I don't forget what I'm talking about. So, Dragon Slayer says awarded to a player's character after making the killing blow against a formidable dragon. Reward once per session when battling an extremely large monster. You gain ferocity 2. In Dragonbane, ferocity is how many actions you can take, usually awarded to the monsters, and so the tougher the monster, the higher ferocity they will have. So in this, it's like you get an extra attack. So in that one situation, pretty cool. All right, so let's go to this next one called Not Yourself. Awarded to a player's character for becoming possessed by an unwelcome entity. I mean, who doesn't want that to happen to them, right? You do get a reward if you're awarded this. Your character always gains a boon versus undead interactions, but also infrequently hears whispering voices. So there's kind of a plus and a minus, and that one's always active. Some of these will be limited to like, you can do it once per session or adventure or whatever, but you know, let's just keep going because I'm enjoying this. All right, so the next idea I had for a card was called Reaper's Gambit. Awarded to a player when their first character is killed during the campaign. Reward, discard this immediately to resurrect their next character, which is their new character they'll be playing, which is, you know, gives them kind of a free pass. Like, okay, you've already had some bad luck. This is a chance to, at least with your next character, you'll get like one free resurrection. Okay. This next one here is one of my favorites. I have a few in these here that just make me laugh, but this is called Overruled. Awarded to a player for behaving poorly towards the GM and or the other players. That's awarded to. Reward is the next time you behave poorly during an adventure, your character is gruesomely destroyed beyond resurrection. Well, you better have had the Reaper's Gambit card if you're going to behave badly. At least you know you get one free pass. Okay, so in Dragonbane it's known as Mirth and Mayhem. So the next card, I had to make a Mirth and Mayhem card. So here's the Mirth card. Awarded to a player once during an adventure for inciting boisterous laughter, and joy amongst all other players. Reward. Although Mirth is its own reward, you may choose to discard this epic achievement to have your GM fetch you a drink of your choice during the session. So just a little bonus, or you can keep it in front of you and go, I have an achievement. But it's also got a little bonus to it if you wish to discard it. Okay, the next one, of course, is like every game needs a good dungeon, so Mazes and Monsters, a shout out to Tom Hanks' old movie. Awarded to a player's character for navigating an intricate and dangerous labyrinth with great efficiency. Reward, once per dungeon, you may ignore gaining a mark when pushing your roll. In Dragonbane, pushing your roll is if you fail a roll, you can put a mark and give yourself a disadvantage or banes towards those abilities in the future. But this kind of overlooks that ability in those situations. Okay, killing spree. Awarded to a player's character for killing 10 or more opponents during a single encounter. Reward. During combat, if you are hit by enemy blood splatter, gain a boon on your next attack, which is like gaining advantage. Of course, that's a constant, so during combat. So killing spree is good, but you've earned it because you've made the killing blow on 10 characters on one or 10 opponents in one combat. So impressive, by the way. Okay, this next one, only one person's going to get this in your adventure. It's called First Blood. Awarded to the player whose character makes the first kill in a campaign. Reward. Once per session, if attacking an undamaged foe, you may choose to remove all your banes and change your attack roll into a dragon. So, but it's pretty cool because this will probably be one of the first ones that's awarded in the game when you have an encounter. So the first person to actually make the kill, after it ends, they'll immediately get a card, and that should, can you imagine it? Like you're sitting around a table, you're not expecting anything, and then next thing you know, that's when they flip up the card and go, oh, by the way, and no one else is going to get that card. I mean, because some of these you can make copies of, but pretty cool. And now it's going to be going through their head like, oh, how can I get an achievement? What do I need to do to unlock it? Only you know. And plus, whatever you decide to make for your personal group, you might know your player characters, or your players, things that they will do, and kind of trigger them. Okay, this next one is called Big Gulp. Awarded to a player character when they are swallowed whole by a monster or perilous bog and survive. So that's key. Reward. Your character gains a new heroic feat, shallow breathing. You spend 2 willpower points. You can hold your breath 3 times longer than normal. I won't continue to explain, but in Dragonbane, if you have feats, then you can spend usually willpower points a lot of times to trigger them. And then you can refresh them with rests and stuff. So, okay, and this next card is called Ain't Over Yet. Awarded to a player's character for successfully rallying another player's character during a battle. Reward. Once per session, you may rally yourself without rolling dice. Dragonbane has a neat mechanism where if your character goes to 0 hit points, you're still continuing to make death rolls, but someone can give up their action in the round to try to rally you, which will make you stand up and fight at 0 hit points. Of course, you always die if you get hit with 0 hit points, whether you're up or down. And you can even try to rally yourself at a disadvantage or a bane. And but this ability would let you do this once per session. You can attempt to rally yourself without having to use other players' actions to try to rally you, or you make a roll. So, which is very nice. Mayhem. This is the opposite of mirth. Awarded to a player's character after performing a massive, damaging act of disorder. I may reword that a little bit. Basically, I fish like Mayhem. I want it to be not just a temper tantrum, but someone's like, went through and smashed up something important in a village, or maybe destroyed something in a bar fight, like it's very precious, or is in a somebody's shop, or I don't know. It could just be set afire to a hut somewhere. I don't know, but just whatever the GM determines as a massive, damaging act of disorder. The reward, gain a permanent condition related directly to your mayhem. Whenever you roll using that ability, if all your banes match, change all of those banes into dragons, which is pretty cool. So I can't remember really with 5e if disadvantage and stuff, but basically you can get multiple boons and multiple banes in Dragonbane. And so when you're rolling with the bane, if all your banes match on this, then they will change into dragons. And maybe I'll reword that a little bit, but I think you guys get the gist. So unfortunately, you do get a permanent condition, which is not cool. So you might be angry all the time. I don't know. Epic Fame. This is a very cool one. Awarded to a party. So the entire party can be awarded this if they are given a moniker by a community or a royal, such as Slayers of the Beast or Scourge of the Realm. Reward, you always gain a boon while interacting with others as a group if they are aware of your moniker and approve of your deeds. Now, obviously this could possibly happen anyway under those circumstances, but you have this reminder of epic fame and your party has earned it. So, but this is just always, make sure, so if they do something as a group with that moniker, and everything goes well. So anyway, that was pretty cool. So money bags. This is the next one. Awarded to a player's character if their character spends at least 5,000 gold, or probably gold value, at a single location. Reward: once per session, when you draw a treasure card, draw 3 instead, then keep the one that you want. If you play this in any other type of game, you can reward it to what you think would be maybe they gain double treasure or something, but that's just once per session. So, and that could be GM determined on that, but it fits really well for the Dragonbane mechanism on that. This one might be my favorite of all, and now I will reveal the card. Participation Trophy. Awarded to the last player who hasn't yet received an achievement. Reward: no special game effect, but you should feel good about yourself for being included. And I know this is more just out of humor, but it's something like, if you're like me and you play with basically all of your friends and people it's kind of like a ha-ha funny moment that you can do, but they actually do get a participation trophy, so they're not left out. All right, this one is called Pick Your Poison. Awarded to a player's character for passing out by consuming too many intoxicating beverages. Reward: once per session, after failing a poison roll, regain D4 hit points instead. That speaks for itself, right? This one I was thinking about Mel Gibson, the original Lethal Weapon movie, where it's like, which wire do I cut? Red wire, blue wire. Okay, this is called Red Wire. Awarded to a player's character when they make a blind guess correctly in the face of certain doom. Reward: the GM gains a bane on rolls concerning your character involving bad luck or unfavorable random happenstance. So that could be like, maybe they're in a marching order or something and they're traveling, and you randomly are going to determine who's going to be attacked, like who's going to catch the arrow, right, from the guy hiding in the bushes. So normally, there's 4 people, you roll 4, D4. Oh, well, this guy has the red wire in front of him. So instead, now you'd have to roll it again because it triggered him, and that'd be like Bane, because it'd be 2 rolls to confirm that it would be him. So, but that's just like one incidence of how you could use that ability of red wire. Okay, this one's called Take a Bow. Awarded to a player for impressive and immersive role playing, which is one of my favorite things. Reward: once per session, when you roll a dragon, you may control the narrative of that outcome. So that really lets the player who gained this get into it. And interesting enough, it's like everybody role plays differently. Some people don't get into it as much in my group and others, but you can gauge you might have one person that's all they do is they are over the top and stuff. Okay, eventually, but make them really push it. Like whatever their level is, if they go beyond it, then I would probably award it to them. Like a person may always do this anyway, but I want them to push it even beyond that for them. Whereas another person might not have to push it as far, but just step out of their box for their immersive role playing, which should impress me. And then I would, probably award that to them as well. All right, so this next one is called True Grit. Awarded to a player's character for displaying an immense willingness to carry on after suffering a tremendous physical, emotional, or spiritual loss. Reward: this card, when this card is rewarded, the character is approached by a divine being, which immediately blesses them with D4 plus 1 permanent hit points or willpower points. Sorry, I had a little glitch with my light there. Don't worry about it. But anyway, this would be a really cool one, because as soon as this is rewarded, you can have some sort of being show up in some form, and this is a creativity thing for the GM that they can do, and then they'll just give them, some sort of permanent boost for their showing true grit during a situation, or something that they've had to go on. Maybe they've lost an eye or a hand or something, but they're still playing the game. They're not asking to roll up a new character. They're just going to keep going. And then after a while, you're like, what? This guy showed great determination to play his character, and which can actually lead to Take a Bow, which is another achievement. But anyway, just thought that was a pretty cool one. This one's called. Next one's called Upon Reflection. Awarded to a player's character after interacting with a magic mirror. Reward: once per session, while gazing at a clean reflection of yourself, you may heal all HP. Now the GM probably has to be a little. I love the reward, by the way, but because if some person immediately gets it, like you probably want to wait till the end, or maybe set it up where it looks more dangerous to try to interact with the mirror, and just so not everybody's trying to react all the time. So if people know that there are rewards out there, achievements that they can gain, I'd probably make it a little bit more difficult each time for the next person to get a similar one. Not necessarily, but maybe. Okay. This one's called, the next one, Spring Chicken, awarded to a player's character for willfully abandoning their party in a time of crisis. I got some players that do that. Reward, once per session, you may withdraw from an opponent in melee combat against you without triggering a free attack. So that's a very good ability to have. So you're rewarded for being a jerk to your party. Okay. All right. I just got a couple left here. We got Wise Guy, awarded to a player's character for discovering an out-of-the-box solution to solve a problem. Reward, once per session, you may spend willpower points equal to your maximum amount of willpower points to ask the GM for a veiled clue to help solve a problem. Because sometimes, your party gets stuck. I usually don't put them in that situation, but if I have this ability, Wise Guy, this could be a chance for them to try to use that special reward. And the last one that I have written down, and I think there's like 22 of these that I've just presented here. So, Wild Ride, awarded to a player's character for successfully riding an untamed and uninfluenced creature. Reward, once per session, you gain 2 boons on any riding check. That'd be like rolling 3 20-sided dice and taking the best roll for you. So, anyway, those are my ideas that I just kind of came up with. I actually came up with this probably about a year ago, but I just wrote some notes. I didn't really write it out. And as time's gone on, and I kind of, have been swapping over, been doing more like Dragonbane. I'd even dabbled a little bit with Deathbringer. My players really like that because it's, super light and they can move fast. And I thought, well, you know what? I might start interacting this. So we're going to be doing a Dragonbane coming up, and I've been doing a lot of soloing of it. And I thought this might be the time to introduce like those cards to my players. So anyway, I won't talk any more about it. Thank you for watching. If you do like it, please like and subscribe. And if you're inspired by my video and you play this, add this feature to your game, tell them, just say, hey, that old dumb guy, Dice Matrix, I got the idea from him. But anyway, you have a fantastic rest of your day, evening, or next morning. I have no idea what time you're watching this video. And remember, keep the dice rolling.